Welcome to Sold Out Sales School, the podcast for women with heart-led, impact-driven offers who are tired of being the internet's best-kept secret. I'm Trish Ware, mom of 7, former labor nurse turned 7-figure business owner and business mentor for B2C brands. If you're marketing to moms, parents, or real people who are not going to make money off your offer, this show was made for you. You tried the big name coaches, but their strategies weren't built for your audience. Here, we do sales differently. No bro marketing, no cold DMs, no weird hooks, no fake urgency, just clear messaging, aligned offers, and strategy that actually converts. You're not here to hustle harder and miss all your family events. You're here to scale smarter with simplicity. So let's get you sold out. Welcome back to Sold Out Sales School. I'm Trish Ware, mom of 7, former labor nurse turned 7-figure business mentor. And today we're going to tackle the biggest invisible block to your sales. And it's not your funnel, it's not your links, it's not your landing page, it's your self-doubt. Because here's the truth. It doesn't matter how good your offer is. If you're carrying around this belief that nobody's going to buy it, that energy bleeds into everything you do, your content, your sales calls, your launches, your challenges, whatever. It all carries the weight of that doubt. But the good news is self-doubt doesn't have to run your business. So in this episode, I'm breaking down exactly why it shows up, how it is sabotaging your sales, and the shifts you can make to turn your shaky belief into unshakable certainty. Because here's the truth. Certainty sells. So if you've ever second guessed your prices, hesitated to talk about your offer, or thought, oh my God, I just talked about it yesterday, or quietly wondered, what if no one buys? This episode is going to be your wake-up call. So today I want to talk about something that affects every single one of us, and it's lies. It's lies that tell us things about ourselves, about our offers, and fear that stops us from selling it effectively. And I was reviewing some notes from a recent client call, and it hit me how many talented kick-ass entrepreneurs are stuck in a cycle of self-doubt that's directly impacting their revenue. And so I decided to break down exactly what's happening and give you some straightforward solutions. So the first thing I want to say is that we have some self-fulfilling prophecies, and that is a hard truth I've learned after working with a lot of business owners, being in high-level masterminds with 6, 7, 8-figure business entrepreneurs, women mostly, that if you're telling yourself that your offer will never sell, it probably won't. And this isn't some woo-woo manifestation talk. And even the Bible reinforces that. This is practical psychology. When you believe your offer won't sell, you create this self-fulfilling prophecy through your actions. So I'm not saying you think it and it happens. What I'm saying is you think it and our thoughts produce actions, or in a lot of cases, lack of action. So let me walk you through what happens. First, you create an offer you're actually super excited about, and you've put in the work, you know it can help people, and you're ready to launch. Then the self-doubt starts to creep and you're like, what if no one buys? What if people think it's too expensive? What if I'm not qualified enough? And those thoughts don't just stay in your head, they change the behavior of how you show up. You start hesitating when you talk about your offer. You start apologizing for your prices and waiting for the perfect time to launch or relaunch, or constantly tweaking instead of selling. And when you finally do put it out there, you do it with such uncertainty that you repel your potential BFEs or your best fans ever. They can feel it. They can sense your doubt, and it becomes their doubt too. I had a client who created an incredible group program. The content was solid. The transformation, like the win for her BFE, was so clear, but she kept telling herself, no one will pay this amount for this. And guess what happened? She launched it at first and no one was buying. We ended up repositioning, working on her inner voice, and we increased the offer from 2,000 to 10,000, and she had 10 people sign up. She wavered in the beginning and she doubted it and she didn't feel in alignment with it, and she wasn't working on that talk inside of her brain, and she was wavering on the price point. So when she was saying it at 2000, it was worth 10,000 all the way from the beginning, but she was hesitating because she just didn't believe in it and she gave up so quickly. The mindset shift that you have to do, the alternative, is decide your offer is going to sell and love your offer. I say this all the time, like, love your offer as much as a show that you binge watch, and you have no problem telling all of your friends about this show. I want you to decide you love your offer that much right now. Say it out loud. Trish, I adore my offer. My offer is amazing. I love my offer. This isn't about blind optimism. It's about making a decision, like a solid, firm decision that creates a different set of actions. Because when you love your offer, when you believe in it, and maybe it's every single day you have to work on your mindset, when you decide that your offer is amazing and incredible and you love it, and it's going to sell, you approach everything differently. You show up consistently. And we're going to talk later this month about how to show up in confidence and how to put off, I don't need you as much as you need my offer kind of vibe. But you talk about your offer regularly when you believe in it and when you love it. You highlight the transformation that your BFE is going to take, the promise of what they're going to win by working with you. You start sharing success stories because you're creating them, and you address objections before they come up because you know those objections are just your BFE's fears and her own self-doubt. But here's the key part that most people miss: consistency. The biggest mistake I see is giving up on your offer too soon and then do a new offer, moving around to this, and you did not give it enough time. You can't just talk about your offer a few times or for a couple months and then throw your hands up when no one buys. And I've analyzed data from the most successful clients that I've worked with, and here's what I find on average. And what data in the world tells us, what you can Google this, it takes about 7 to 9 touch points before someone decides to buy your offer. Yet most business owners, I'm talking to you if you're listening, give up after 2 to 3 times. And think about that. You're quitting the game when you're only a third of the way to the finish line. One of my clients was completely ready to scrap her whole program after her failed launch. And we dug into her numbers. She only had mentioned it twice in her emails and one Instagram post because she was like, I don't want to overwhelm my followers. That's it. So we created a 30-day visibility plan where she talked about her offer every single day, every day, sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly through stories or testimonials. And we did what I call infusion selling. And by day 18, she had sold out all 10 spots. The offer didn't change. Her consistency did. So you have to start thinking about your offer and how clear is it? Because consistency alone isn't enough if your offer isn't solving a specific problem for a specific person. And so before you start saying to me, but Trish, oh my gosh, I solve a lot of problems, I'm not really sure. No, you can't. I want you to sit down with some paper and pencil. I want you to write down everything your offer does and then figure out what is the most important thing to your BFE. So I know for my BFE for Labor Nurse Mama, for my birth course, that I teach them how to combine mindset, knowledge, and the willing to speak up, like being your own advocate. And that is the main problem that my main problem my BFE has is she really wants to have a home-like birth in the hospital setting, but she's afraid that no one will listen to her. And so I come in with what I know she needs, and I give her the best birth experience possible where she knows that she was the one making the decisions. And that's what's most important to my BFE. If your offer isn't solving a specific problem for a specific person, you need to figure that out before you commit to consistently selling it. You need to do a quick clarity check, right? How clear is this? Ask yourself, is my offer solving one specific problem for one specific person? And am I giving them the win they actually want? Maybe you are giving them the win that they want, but you've not been talking about it. And sometimes that's just by doing some market research. Is my messaging focused on their biggest pain point? And I know your brain, again, is saying, but I solve a lot of problems. How do I just pick one? only focus on one problem that is most important to them. You can do the rest of it on the inside of your offer, so you're over delivering, but your messaging needs to focus on their biggest pain point. So let me give you like a concrete example. So I had a client, she is a mindset coach for female entrepreneurs. Her offer promised to help with mindset, marketing, sales, systems, and work-life balance, right? Well, that's a lot, right? And even I did this myself when I started my coaching. No wonder she wasn't selling, and her potential clients couldn't see themselves in that generic list of business areas. So we narrowed her messaging to focus on one problem: helping women entrepreneurs who are stuck at 5K months to break through to consistent 10K months. And we worked together one on one without making her offer more complicated. We just simplified. It was the same offer on the inside, but we positioned it differently, and we worked on her messaging. And she went from struggling to filling up her wait list. And I learned this from a coach that I invested in, and she called it the pain pill principle, or the pain pill versus the vitamin. I'm not sure where she got it, but I call it the pain pill principle. So the final piece of this puzzle is understanding whether it is a pain pill or a vitamin. People forget to take vitamins. Like I forget to take vitamins. I was telling my clients on a group coaching call today that for my vitamins, I have the nighttime ones by my bed and the morning times one by my coffee maker, so I don't forget it. But I've had a toothache before, I've had surgery before. You don't forget your pain pill. Like people do not forget to take a pain pill. A vitamin, it's nice. It's nice if I have it. It'll gradually improve things over time. It's preventative. It's optimizing something that's already working okay. But a pain pill, no. Sister, that solves a pressing problem right now. And if your offer is a pain pill, you're going to sell it because your ideal client has that toothache and they're actively looking to solve it right now. If your offer is positioned at this as this vitamin, like this broad, give it time, you're always going to struggle with urgency because people will say things like, "Oh, this looks great. I'll think about it." Or maybe next time. Or I need to wait until X, Y, and Z happens. But if your offer is positioned as a pain pill, people will move mountains to work with you, and they'll find the money. They'll make the time. They have to believe in the transformation. We all want our pain to go away. So they're going to sign up immediately. So how do you do that? How do you position your offer as a pain pill? First, number one, identify the most painful symptom your ideal client is experiencing. So if you're a lactation consultant, your ideal client is struggling with milk supply, why are you talking about all the other things? Focus on her problem and give her the solution. She wants better milk supply, right? So identify the most painful symptom that your BFE is experiencing, not the root cause, not what's causing it, but the symptom. Well, how is it expressing itself in their life? If it, let's say you're a business coach, the root cause might be ineffective sales systems, but the painful symptom is you're watching your competitors land clients that should have been yours, or you're checking your bank account at the end of the month and you don't have enough money to pay yourself. So second, make that pain the centerpiece of your messaging. Lead with it in your headlines, your social media posts, your email subject lines. Trust me on this. For the next 30 days, lead everything with that. And then inside your caption, inside your stories, inside your lives, connect your specific solution directly to solving her pain. I worked with a health coach who was struggling to sell her program. We did a one-off one-on-one. She was positioning it as, you're going to, I forget exactly, but optimize your health through nutrition and movement. That's a vitamin. We changed it to end your afternoon. I'm trying to remember this exactly, but end your afternoon energy crashes, something to that effect, that are making you feel like an impatient parent at home. That is a pain pill because as a mom and the late afternoon, what's happening? Your kids are coming home from school. They're going to see you're getting off work, and she's having this energy crash that is causing her to not show up for her children, which as moms, that is a pain. Like that is a pain we want to solve. Same program, different positioning, and she sold her offer. So let's bring this all together. If you want to sell your offer, you need to one, decide it's going to sell. Decide that you freaking love it and you're going to sell it with unwavering confidence, right? Number two, commit to consistency. You're not going to sell your offer for a week and then quit on it and create a new one. Talk about your offer regularly every single day. That's one of my daily sevens for my clients. Every single day, sell your offer. Number three, ensure that your offer is solving one specific problem for one specific person, not for everybody. Don't let your brain make you think you're missing out on sales. Number four, you're already not selling, so that's why you're here. Number four, position it as a pain pill, not a vitamin. And when things don't work immediately, do not throw your hands up and quit. That's where most people fail. You see me at like year 7, and you didn't see me at year 1, 2, and 3. Right? Instead, look at your messaging and ask yourself, am I clearly communicating the specific pain I solve? And am I showing up consistently enough? Am I selling my offer every single day? Am I projecting absolute certainty in the value of my solution? The truth is, selling out your offer isn't about having like a perfect funnel or biggest audience. I have a very small audience on my I Am Trish Ware, and I didn't even have a landing page or a website until this weekend, and I haven't even launched it yet. And I have created multi-six figures with my coaching because I have unwavering belief in what I can provide, and I communicate it clearly and consistently, and I position it as the solution that my BFE can't wait to solve, which is selling her offer through content and messaging, right? Perfecting that so she can make money. That's what we want. And that's the difference between offers that struggle and offers that sell out. And next week, we're going to be breaking down the exact messaging framework I use to turn pain points into irresistible offers. And if you're watching this video right now, do you see that Tula is completely crashed out? This is cracking me up. Anyway, Tula's always with me because I'm her emotional support human. Okay, so again, make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Until then, remember, your offer deserves to be sold. It's incredible. And your BFE deserves to have her win. And you deserve to be paid for the value that you took to create it. Here's the truth. Self-doubt is the fastest way to sabotage everything you do in your business. But certainty is the fastest way to sell out. And action takers who are confident and certain are moneymakers. When you decide your offer will sell, commit to consistency, clarify exactly who it's for, and position it as the pain pill your audience can't live without. You stop spinning your wheels because you don't have to come out with all this content for all these different things. You only have to come up with content about what your offer solves, and you will start making sales with confidence. So this week, I want you to ask yourself, am I showing up like someone who knows her offer is the bomb, or am I holding back because of doubt? And don't forget, next week, I'm going to break down my exact messaging framework, and we'll talk about how to turn those pain points into your irresistible offer. You're going to want that in your toolkit. So again, hit subscribe right now. That is your cosmic slap on the booty, babe, because action takers are money makers. You're the magic. You're magical. Don't forget it. As always, hit subscribe, leave a review, and I'll see you again next week.